have I fallen? Am I crawling on my knees? Here I'm calling in the hope that you'll see me. When have I fallen? Am I crawling on my knees?
Hey, this is Kane. I'm going to be making a vlog today. So, as you can tell, I'm not doing too hot. My hair is day 3. My clothes are probably day 4. But I've been really depressed these last couple days. And that's pretty normal, it's bipolar. But I decided that today I'd maybe disconnect from the internet for a while, put on some music, some tunes, and read some comfort books. And I'm gonna take you guys with me. Expect a lot of screaming at gay men. That's the status quo at this point. And hope that maybe this time I can feel better. Some dry shampoo and a good brushing, and so my hair, it looks decent. Not as good as it would if I actually dyed it the correct color, but there's only so much I can do for that. I'm gonna finally power up my Kindle and I'll show you what I'm reading, hopefully.
Here I'm calling in the hope that you'll see me.
The book I'll be focusing on tonight is At the Doctor's Discretion, and it's a book about a black doctor in the 1800s, and it has to do with a gay romance, and it's interracial, so it's all sorts of not politically correct for the time, so it's going to be really interesting to see how this one progresses. I was going to save it for the June whatever you want-a-thon, but I really just want to feel better right now, so I guess that's my goal. It wasn't until Dr. Hill had reseated himself on the settee that William realized something was not quite right about the man. Mr. Peterson settled himself on a chair in front of the table, and William sat as well, trying to place what about the Dr. Hill that was causing unease to curl in the back of his mind. It took him a moment longer, and then he saw it with a jolt. Dr. Hill's right hand, the one he'd offered to William, was now folded in his lap. The left sleeve of his coat clearly contained an arm, tapering down to a neat cuff, but beyond that was nothing. The hand was missing completely. I have looked through the first scene. It's fairly interesting in the sense that the writing style is very, how'd you say, maybe 1800s. It's very 1800s. It's what I'd expect from historical fiction that balances the need for readability but also the need to make it seem older school and in the style of, say, Jane Eyre or some other Bronte work. Maybe even Jane Austen, who knows. Either way, I got to the first scene, and apparently they're going through the estate of a deceased colleague. They're both doctors. Well, I was told one of them was a soldier, but apparently he was a doctor who worked in the Navy. So that's going to be the Dom, I believe. It's fairly interesting. I don't know how exactly to put it. I have a feeling that there's gonna be angst around the death of someone they knew, but I can't say for sure because one of them doesn't even know him. So we're gonna have to see. I'm not quite sure about this book yet, but it's really interesting. I like the race dynamic that are going on here. Like, during the first scene, there was a guy who was like, this is Dr. Blackwell, as if it was like some weird sort of revelation that he was a doctor, but he was also black. So that's pretty interesting. They're definitely not, they're pretty heavy-handed on the whole pursuit of that aspect, and I'm very excited to see where it goes. So I decided after reading that scene that I would go ahead and set up my Alexa Echo Show, I believe, to do some writing sprints for me. It'll, do these various things that I can set it up to do. But this time I decided I would just create a simple routine, which you can do on your phone just fine, but I have my special little alarm clock. So I decided and did that I would do this. And it's working out fairly well. I just went ahead and made a timer, and throughout that timer it would give me encouragement, because reading sometimes, especially when I'm depressed, is a lot harder for me. So I'm really glad I did this. So I'm gonna be honest, I have PTSD, and I was going to go make coffee, and someone in my family, they got like too close over my shoulder because they were also gonna make coffee, and that's a big trigger of mine. Like, I can hug people and hang out, but like if they get too close and don't tell me or let me consent to it, it makes me very, very upset. And I didn't get a chance to make my coffee. I ended up going back to my room, and I'm just even more depressed now. So now that I've set up my writing sprints, I'm gonna go ahead and tell Alexa I need to write for my writing? Oh my god, my reading sprints. I set up my reading sprints. My god. I'm gonna tell my little Echo Show that I'm gonna go write for a bit. Alexa, let's read.
Hello, Kane. You want to read? Go grab a hot drink and get your book. Relax. You have 2 minutes before the sprint starts.
William would almost say pretty, but that wasn't quite right either. Perhaps elegant? William's gaze swept down Hill's form and then back up before he forced himself to look at the fire, so he wouldn't be caught staring. It was foolish. He shouldn't be looking at a white man that way, or thinking about him in those terms. Desiring men would always be a risk, but desiring a white man even more so. Impossibly so. The sound of Hill's pen stopped, and when William looked back, their gazes met. William set aside his utensils and looked over at Hill. A small smile turned up the corners of Hill's mouth. His gaze was part amused, part affectionate, and he did not look away from William's gaze. Instead, his smile grew wider, changing to something else, more of a caress than a touch this time. Other men had looked at William this way before, and he knew what it meant. He felt his face flush, but he didn't look away. Alright, so I went ahead and I did another 30-minute sprint. It was interesting. This definitely isn't... It isn't a slow burn, not as far as I can see. They're definitely diving headlong into romance. That's for damn sure. It's interesting. I like the way the dynamic they have. It's sort of like a shy, sort of not sure if I love him or not sort of thing. I really like it. It's kind of interesting. I gave you a few excerpts there, but they kind of know they love each other, but they know how wrong that is supposed to be in that time and age. So it's really interesting to watch. Huh. I'm gonna have to go read more, I guess. gone ahead and got myself some food. I feel better, but not perfect. I've gotten to the scene while I was cooking that they kiss, and I'm 90% sure they're just gonna fuck in the middle of William's apartment. This is chapter 1. My god. Oh my god, this is a lot, but I'm loving every fucking second of it. The writing style is just, oh man. This is just what I wanted. I'm really happy I did this. Okay, so this is gonna be a shorter vlog than my usual 40-minute behemoths, but I'm gonna see if I can get some sleep. It's about midnight. Oh, do I have food on my face? I do. How nasty. Whatever, but I'm sleepy and I deserve some rest for now, and hopefully tomorrow I'll feel better. I love talking to y'all. It was really nice. And here's the arbitrary. I hope you subscribe, like, whatever. Comment. I don't know. Let me know that I'm not just talking to myself here. Thanks anyway. I'll see you later.